Imagine two people buying the exact same pair of shoes. The first person pays $60. The second person pays $120. Same shoes, same store, same day. So why did one person pay double? It's not because the shoes were different. It's not because the store charged them differently. It's because one of them was broke. And here's the uncomfortable truth that most people never talk about. Being broke is expensive. In fact, the less money you have, the more things tend to cost you. Groceries, housing, transportation, banking, even your time. And when you start adding up the math behind it, something surprising appears. You're not just struggling because money is tight. You're struggling because the system quietly charges a poverty premium on almost everything. Today, we're breaking down the math of being broke, why people with less money often end up paying more, how it happens in everyday life, and most importantly, how understanding this math can help you start reversing it. Because once you see the pattern, you stop blaming yourself, and you start making smarter moves. Let's break it down. By the end of this video, you'll understand why being broke can make everyday items cost twice as much, the hidden financial traps that quietly drain money from people living paycheck to paycheck, the real math behind fees, interest, and convenience, and the small financial shifts that can start breaking this cycle. This isn't about judgment. This isn't about telling people to just budget better. This is about seeing the financial mechanics behind everyday life, because once you understand the math, you start playing the game differently. First, the bulk discount problem. Let's start with something simple: groceries. Imagine you walk into a store to buy laundry detergent. Option 1, a small bottle for $6. Option 2, a large bottle for $15 that lasts 4 times longer. Mathematically, the large bottle is the better deal. The cost per use is dramatically lower. But here's the problem. If you only have $10 in your account, you can't buy the $15 bottle. So you buy the $6 bottle instead. And you do that again and again and again. After 4 purchases, you spent $24 on something that could have cost $15. That's a $9 penalty simply for not having enough money at the moment you needed it. Now multiply that across food, toiletries, cleaning supplies, and household goods. Suddenly, the math becomes clear. The inability to buy in bulk quietly increases your cost of living, and it happens every single week. Second on the list, the interest trap. Now, let's talk about one of the most expensive math equations in personal finance: interest. When money is tight, unexpected expenses show up at the worst time: car repair, medical bill, broken phone. If you have savings, you pay the bill and move on. But if you don't, you borrow. And borrowing introduces interest. Let's run the numbers. Imagine you need $800 for a car repair so you can get to work. If that goes on a credit card with 24% interest and you pay it off slowly, that $800 repair can easily turn into $1,000 or more. Same repair, same mechanic, but now it costs 25% more because you didn't have cash available. And this isn't rare. Millions of people are stuck in this cycle where everyday emergencies become long-term debts, not because they're irresponsible, but because their financial margin is too thin. Third on the list, the fee economy. Here's another hidden cost most people overlook: fees. When you're broke, you interact with the financial system differently. Overdraft fees, late payment fees, ATM withdrawal fees, check cashing fees. Each one seems small, $10 here, $35 there, but the math adds up fast. Let's say someone gets hit with 2 overdraft fees in a month, 1 late payment fee, 2 ATM fees. That could easily total $100 or more in a single month. Over a year, that's $1,200 gone. And here's the frustrating part: the people paying the most fees are usually the people with the least money. It's a financial system where mistakes cost more the less room you have to make them. Fourth on the list, the transportation tax. Transportation is another area where being broke changes the math. Let's compare 2 scenarios. The first person owns a reliable car. They can commute efficiently and choose better job opportunities. The second person relies on ride shares, taxis, or multiple bus connections. the cost difference can be huge. For example, two $15 ride shares per day is $30 daily. Over a 20-day work month, that's $600. Now compare that to someone driving a paid-off car with gas costs around $150 per month. Same goal, getting to work, but one person is paying 4 times more because they didn't have the upfront resources to secure the cheaper long-term option. That's the pattern again. Being broke forces short-term solutions that cost more long-term. Fifth on the list, time penalty. Here's a cost most people forget to calculate: time. When you have money, you often buy convenience, delivery services, efficient transportation, tools that save time. When money is tight, you compensate with effort. You take longer bus routes. You shop at multiple stores to find deals. You spend hours solving problems that money could fix quickly. And while that effort can absolutely be admirable and resourceful, it also creates a hidden opportunity cost. Every extra hour spent solving logistical problems is an hour not spent building skills, resting, or pursuing better opportunities. Time is one of the most powerful financial assets people have, but when money is scarce, time is the currency you're forced to spend. Sixth on the list, the stress multiplier. Now, let's talk about something less visible but incredibly real: stress. Financial pressure changes how people make decisions. When every dollar matters, decisions become urgent instead of strategic. You choose the fastest option instead of the best option. You prioritize today's survival over tomorrow's efficiency. And over time, that pressure can compound into more expensive choices. Researchers call this the scarcity mindset, when limited resources narrow your focus to immediate problems. It's not about intelligence, it's about bandwidth. When your brain is busy solving financial emergencies, it has less space to plan long-term strategies, which means the system keeps reinforcing itself. More pressure, more short-term decisions, more expensive outcomes. That's the math of being broke. Seventh on the list, the escape equation. So how do people start reversing this? The answer usually isn't one dramatic breakthrough. It's small shifts that slowly change the math. The first step is creating financial margin. Even a small emergency fund, $500 to $1,000, can interrupt the interest trap. Suddenly, a car repair doesn't turn into a credit card balance. The second shift is reducing recurring leaks, fees, subscriptions, high-interest debt. Every small leak you close increases your financial breathing room. And the third shift is increasing income leverage, skills, certifications, side income streams. Because the fastest way to change financial math is often increasing the top line. More income creates more options create better long-term decisions, and better decisions start flipping the equation. Here's the key takeaway most people miss. Being broke isn't just a number in your bank account, it's a set of financial conditions that make everyday life more expensive. Limited cash leads to smaller purchases. Smaller purchases increase long-term cost. Unexpected expenses introduce interest. Interest creates debt, and debt reduces future flexibility, and the cycle repeats. But once you understand the pattern, something powerful happens. You stop asking, "Why does money disappear so fast?" And you start asking a better question: where is the math working against me? Because when you find those points, fees, interest, bulk pricing, transportation, time, you start identifying leverage. And leverage is how people slowly shift from financial survival to financial momentum. Not overnight, but step by step. If this video changed how you see money, even a little, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Every week we break down the hidden mechanics behind financial planning so you can make smarter decisions with the money you work hard for. No complicated jargon, no unrealistic promises, just clear financial ideas that actually make sense. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one everyday expense that feels way more expensive than it should be? Drop it in the comments, because sometimes the fastest way to solve money problems is simply understanding the math behind them.